Welcome back, man.
Hey, dude, thanks for having me. Glad to be back.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been a good football season so far. I like it. I like where we're going.
Do you have any takeaways before we get going? Like what you're enjoying the most of the season, or
Um, just how outside of Georgia and I guess Alabama, as long as they went out. Who's your 3 and 4? Like it really, there's. I think it's the first year where we don't really know who's going to be there. And it's cool.
yeah, I think I'll have my top 10 here in a second, but my 3 and 4, I have Cincinnati and Oklahoma right now. My 3 and 4, of course, Iowa at 2. I think this is really the year, and I was saying it last week even that of course, it was Alabama, and then it was Georgia, and then there was a gap.
Right.
So I don't know what's going to happen with Georgia. I think Georgia's defense is elite. I think they're the best, one of the best defenses, and they are the best defense this season.
Can't argue with it. The points allowed speaks
Yeah.
volume alone.
Yeah, and you can't. It's hard for me to count out a Nick Saban Alabama team. It really is. Who knows? They could lose again. That's the thing about it.
That's very true. They could lose again because if you remember, they had a lot harder schedule than Georgia does this year. And I was talking about that last time I was on the show. But does Alabama got to beat Georgia in the SEC championship to get in, or can they get in with getting beat by having 2 losses?
Well, here's the thing. Now,
with
it really
the loss
depends
to
on
Georgia, a close loss to Georgia in the SEC championship.
No, they're out.
They're out?
Yeah, if they were to lose, to Georgia, say they somehow win out and they make it to Atlanta to play Georgia, if they lose, they're done.
Done. Okay.
There's never been a 2-loss team to make it to the college football playoff.
Alabama would be the first to do that.
It really depends on the teams they beat.
Yes.
And how closely they lose to a Georgia team. That's really what would happen. Now, losing last weekend to Texas A&M, that's their one mulligan. I feel like they would have to win out.
Did you hear that play? That place was rocking. I would have loved to have been at that game. That place was going insane. The 12th man was alive and well.
Yeah, I thought the games last weekend, that along with Iowa, Penn State, there were some really, really good games last week. I thought it was one of the best weekends we've had all season.
And Penn State had a real good week to have an off week because their quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, and I think Penn State would have won.
I did too.
I had Penn State winning. Yeah.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, what we're going to do, I want to welcome you back. I know you came on before the season started. You gave out your top 10. We're not going to talk about that, but
yeah, we can leave that out of the conversation.
But what we're going to do today is I want to bring you on. I want to change it up a little bit. Usually I do this by myself a little bit, but I wanted to bring you on. I want to see your top 10 on how it is throughout the season so far, and I'm going to have you pick some games with me, and then at the end I'm going to talk a little W with you and everything. And we'll go from there with it. I know you're shaking your head already, but
can't wait. Can't wait.
Well, what I'll go ahead and do is, do you want us? You can go ahead and start us off. Who do you have? We'll go ahead and start you off. Who's in your top 10 for week 7?
Obviously, number 1's Georgia. My top 10. We got Georgia at 1, Iowa at 2, Cincinnati at 3, and Oklahoma at 4. I mean That's subject to change, but that is my top 4, and I'd say that's a lot of people's top 4 right now. But after that's where, like I said, it's wide open. This year it is absolutely wide open race to the very end. I mean, I think even conference championship week's I really think it's all gonna be decided right there at the end. And Cincinnati, they better win convincingly. But anyways, 5. I got Alabama coming in. After that loss, they come in at 5. Penn State at 6. Then here's our Ohio State at 7, Michigan 8, Michigan State 9, and Oklahoma State at 10. Like the last time I was on here, the Buckeyes, I was calling for Oregon to get them, but here they are climbing back up the ladder. Probably going to be there. They're probably going to be here at the end in the conversation for the playoffs. So that's that's where we're coming in at. Have a couple undefeated teams at the end, in Michigan, Michigan State, and Oklahoma State. Those teams will probably either go up or down in the near future with some big games coming up. And, like I said, it's just wide open.
Yeah,
there's a lot of more teams I could, there's some teams I could have swapped: Michigan State, Oklahoma State. But right now, that's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I see it with mine. I have, of course, Georgia number 1. Last week I had them, of course, at number 2. I have Iowa coming in at number 2. Last week I had them at number 5. I had them behind Penn State and behind Cincinnati. Yeah,
they have a good defense, and I heard a weird stat on Iowa. They've got like 20-some takeaways this season.
It's ridiculous.
Insane rate of takeaways.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have, I think, 3 of the last 4 seasons. Now, this is, of course, before the Penn State game, and I think they've added to that total, is 3 of the last 4 seasons, they've have more interceptions than passing touchdowns allowed.
Yeah, their offense is boring, but their defense is for real.
But yeah, I got Iowa at number 2. I have Cincinnati coming up 1 at number 3. I am really high. I'm on the Cinderella choo-choo train, dude. I'm riding Cincinnati. I think they can make it the college football playoff. I think that Cincinnati is a very intriguing team. I've enjoyed watching them all season. I have a Cincinnati watch already. I do every single one of their games. I pick every single one of the games, regardless of whether they're playing Temple or they're playing Notre Dame. I pick every single one of them because, man, I think they can go 13-0 this year. I think they can make it. Now, can they win? I don't know. But I got them at number 3. I got Oklahoma coming up from 6 to 4. I have Alabama sliding down from 1 to 5. And then I have Ohio State at 6. I like the way C.J. Stroud's playing lately. Last 2 games, 10 touchdowns, 72% completion percentage. He's really finding his way, 0 picks. I really like that. I'm really high on that kid. I think the more football he plays, I think the better he gets. And I got Michigan at 7. I think that run game they got going on now, if they're forced to throw the ball, I'm curious to see what happens there. Now, Penn State, I got it coming down to number 8, coming down from number 3 last week. And I got 2 newcomers this week. I got number 9 Michigan State with Kenneth Walker III, the nation's leading rusher with the season. And then also I got Kentucky. at 10. I could have, easily put maybe Oklahoma State there. But I like Kentucky's resume a little bit better right now. I know they're playing Georgia this week, and they're probably going to get slaughtered. But I like Kentucky's resume, having beaten Florida. Florida, I believe, was
from here on out after the Georgia game.
So. Yeah, I think Kentucky's got a good team. I don't think they win this weekend, but I think what they've done so far, compared to say maybe an Oklahoma State, I like it a little bit more. But yes, that's my top 10 for week 7. So
that's a solid top 10. And back to Cincinnati, I think they have to. I would love to see them get in the playoff, and I think they can compete. Like Fickle's got that team coached up. They can compete. And what's kind of not fair to them is they put in the whole body of work over the past 3 years, where they're like 22-3 or something or another. Which, they don't do that to these other teams. They don't put in the whole body of work over the past 3 years. But with Cincinnati, you look at the whole body of work over the past 3 years. They went out. They have to win convincingly every week and get better every week. And I think they're in.
Okay. Yeah, I think with to that point with Cincinnati, I think that it's really, I think all they got to do is take care of business.
They can't lose focus. They can't underestimate anybody. They have to come out, execute, and win in big time fashion every week.
I agree. I think that if they, and what I think is going to help them out too, they got to play SMU as well on their schedule. SMU is currently ranked. That's going to help them out.
That will help.
Yeah, and if somehow maybe Houston,
they're rooting Houston. If Dana can rally the troops and get to the the Conference USA or not Conference USA, I'm sorry, the Conference Championship game there, and that would boost their resume a lot to get a win in the conference champion against a ranked team. That would mean a lot for the committee to put them in
Definitely.
the playoff.
I agree 110%.
Rather than playing like a really good, like unranked team per se.
And I think also too, before we go into picking the games, I think what also that's helping Cincinnati out is Oregon. The Pac-12's already lost one game.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the Pac-12.
Yeah, the Pac-12's already lost one game. The ACC's more than likely out of it unless Wake Forest somehow runs the table and has some things happen. I don't see that happening either.
I do
But
not.
I'm not sold on the Big 12 yet. I'm really not. Now, Oklahoma looks vulnerable. Oklahoma's looked vulnerable since week 1. Now,
defense isn't as good as years past, and neither is their offense.
No, the offense. I mean, quarterback situation. What are we going to do? What are we going to do there? That's going to be the problem. I mean,
does the dealership want their car back from Spencer Rattler? Like, does this change the nature of NIL deals? Like, if you look at him and the Clemson quarterback, and like all this money and image likeliness they got, and here they are just stinking it up on the field. So, maybe it changes how these companies think their strategy on these college players.
Oh yeah, I agree 110%. I'm not sold on Spencer Rattler. I mean, I know Oklahoma's offensively they're coming up a little bit, but I mean, too much talent around them for him to stink it up that bad.
I completely agree.
I could see more of old DJ from Clemson struggling a little bit more due to the amount of people they did lose on that offensive side of the ball, but
they've lost
I think he's stinking it up too.
He is. But everybody's hanging Dabo. I like Dabo. I really do. Him and like you said, they lost some people. They got some injuries, and I think you give them a year or two, they'll be right back where they need to be.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's go ahead and get into. Let's go ahead and pick. We got 10 games this week we're going to pick from. So you will see it on here on the screen. We're going to give you the over-unders. We're going to give you the spread currently as it stands right now, and these spreads are through Caesar Sportsbook. So first off on the list, let's go number 11 in Kentucky. This is all through AP polls as well. This isn't my rankings or anything like that. So we got number 11 Kentucky at number 1 Georgia. Right now, currently the spread is at 22.5 for Georgia, over under 44.5. And they play on Saturday. So who do you have winning the Kentucky-Georgia game?
Oh, I have Georgia. Defense wins. They haven't allowed like more than 10 points in a game this season, and maybe Kentucky can cover that spread there and keep it under 22 points. But yeah, Georgia rolls defense, and they're gonna go on.
Well, I agree with you. I think Georgia wins. I think Georgia covers. I'm picking Georgia outright. But great coaches cover, good coaches win. Kirby Smart's a great coach. I think he covers that 22.5, especially being at home. If they're playing in Lexington, I could see maybe them not covering. But I think Georgia at least covers the game. Secondly, next game, let's go Purdue at number 2 Iowa. They play at 3:30 on ABC. Who do you have winning that one?
This Purdue team is not a bad football team, and if you remember 3 years ago, Ohio State was ranked number 2. Purdue went to Ohio State and beat them by like 25 points. It was an absolute massacre. And this could happen again. This is one of those things where this is the highest that Iowa's been ranked since the 80s. Are they composed? Are they ready for the moment? And hopefully they just don't overlook Purdue.
I think they're ready for it. I think they showed it last week. Now, you could say with the injured quarterback from Penn State, I mean, did that have any effect on it? More than likely, I think Penn State would have won, but I think Iowa's defense is for real. I think they're the second best next to Georgia. Now, Georgia's up here, Iowa's right here, but they're still, allowing, I think, below 15 points per game, which is very, very good. I got Iowa winning that one.
I'm going to take Iowa as well. I'm just saying they can't overlook Purdue, or they're going to
definitely. Yeah,
I think Ohio State 3 years ago all over again.
Definitely. And I think Iowa's really got a good shot of winning the West. I really do, with the schedule they have left. As long as they take care of business, I think they could definitely get there. Third game we got here, we got Central Florida at number 3 Cincinnati, and that plays at noon on ABC on Saturday. Who do you got on that one?
Yeah, like we said up there a minute ago on your rankings, they really need to win every game convincingly, get better every week, show the world that they're growing as a football team, growing as a program, and that their coaches are progressing them as a whole. And as long as they win, like I said earlier, they just have to win convincingly. UCF's one of their closer opponents, left on their schedule. They're still a 20-point favorite or so. So yeah, Cincinnati gets the job done here.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I'm not even gonna doubt Cincinnati on this one. This should be a walk in the park, man. Move on to the next one.
They got to stay focused.
Got to stay focused, man. I like what they did last week against Temple. They took care of business. That's what you want to see.
They did take care of business against Temple.
Those are the victories you have to do. You have to win like that. I think you do. Now, let's go ahead and move into the Big 12. We got TCU at Oklahoma. Oklahoma coming off that come behind victory to Texas in the Red River. So, who do you think wins? And they play on 7:30 on ABC on Saturday night.
Well, I'm going to go with Oklahoma because I think Rick Riley is a heck of a head coach. It was a hard decision he made last Saturday in a primetime game like that to make a quarterback change to a freshman in that nature. That was a gutsy call on his behalf. They got to be focused. TCU could sneak up on them. They've had some close games, but yeah, Oklahoma's coming. Their loss is coming.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma wins this game. I think it's a little bit closer than maybe the 13.5 point spread indicates.
I do too. That's a note I have right here on my paper. I said could be close. Like that's literally what I have.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit closer than that, but I think Oklahoma ends up winning regardless. Let's go ahead and move to number 5 Alabama at Mississippi State. Alabama's a 17-point favorite in this game.
I like me some Mississippi State, but Alabama by 100. Nick Saban gets them focused, and they take care of business, and they get back on track to get back in the top 4.
Okay, I think Alabama. Alabama's going to win this. They're going to get back on track. I'm curious to see how they come out in this game. I really am, because I was shocked that they ended up losing. I thought.
It blew my mind that they lost.
Yeah, I did not think they would lose to Texas A&M. Maybe at the beginning of the season when we were talking, we had that game circled. We're like, man, that's gonna be a really good game, because at the time Texas A&M was a top 10 team.
Yeah, they were like 4 or 5. So I was like, that's a good game on Alabama's schedule that they could lose. But
And
Texas A&M hasn't looked. They didn't look as good coming. Well, heck, that wasn't even their starting quarterback to start the season.
No, and that's what I really thought. I was like, man,
yes.
The last time Texas A&M had won against Alabama was Johnny Manziel in 2012.
Right, Johnny was there too. He was loving life.
Yeah. So, let's go a little Pac-12 after dark. Now, this is a Friday night game. Okay. So this is 10:30 on Friday night. We got Cal at number 9 Oregon. Oregon's a 13.5 point favorite.
I have Oregon. Cal's not very good, and Oregon takes care of business Friday night.
Okay. Well, CJ Verdell's out for the season. I still have Oregon winning this game. Oregon rolls, I believe, in this game.
Yeah.
Them straight up, though. Now, going to a noon game on Saturday, we got number 10 Michigan State, which has been a very big surprise this season, at Indiana. Who do you have in that one?
This is one of those games that I wanted to pick Indiana because if you remember last year, Indiana was a good football team, and they returned back a lot of starters. They've actually underperformed this year. There was people, they anticipated a big year from Indiana that hasn't quite panned out. I mean, they can get it together here at the end of the season, but I'm going to pick Michigan State here because, like you said, that running back is an absolute monster. But don't be surprised if Indiana keeps it close or possibly even wins.
Okay. I got Michigan State. Look at all the 3 losses that Indiana has this season. They're all to ranked teams. Technically, all of them now are in the top 10. Michigan State's the top 10 team. I think they go 0-4 against top 10 teams, technically, against top 10 teams. And the closest they've came is 14 points between Cincinnati. I think Michigan State rolls in this game. I don't think it's close. I have Michigan State. I think Kenneth Walker runs all over them. Dude's a beast. I mean, but I think Michigan State wins outright anyway. But let's go ahead and go back to the Big 12. This is the other ranked game of the weekend, only the second one of the 2. We got number 12 Oklahoma State at number 25 Texas. Texas right now is a 4.5-point favorite on this game. You going horns down on this?
I'm going horns down on this one. I am pulling for the Oklahoma State. They've won their games. Maybe they haven't won pretty games. It's been close at the end, but they've won the football games. And Texas is coming off that heartbreaking loss. I think they're going to come out flat, and I think this is going to be a hangover for Texas. I really do. I think Oklahoma State gets it done.
I'm going with the upset on this. I think Texas wins.
A lot of people are.
I think it's. I had Texas beating Oklahoma. I really did. I didn't think, even though if Texas would have won, I don't think they would have been back technically. The whole. People say that.
No, they're not.
I didn't think that. But I think that Texas wins this game. It's a very close game, though. I think it's a really, really good game.
Yes, I think it'll be a good game as well. But I just think after that heartbreaker last week, I just think Oklahoma State, like I said, they've got it done. It hasn't been pretty. Oklahoma State has not been pretty, but they've won games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be one of the better games of the weekend. For sure. I'm looking forward to that one. Let's go to number 13, Ole Miss at Tennessee. Ole Miss technically right now is a 2.5-point favorite.
Yes, this is going to be a very close game, and there is the consensus is that Tennessee's favored just like 53% to 47% or something like that. But I have Mississippi State, Lane Kiffin, that offense, they got it rolling. They took the loss to Alabama pretty bad, but there's no way that the Kiff dog loses to Tennessee. No way. He would hang 100. He'd hang 100 if he could.
Okay, well. Let's go. I have Ole Miss in this game. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I think it's going to be a lot of points. The over-under on this is 83.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of points scored in this.
There's going to be a lot of points in this.
Yeah.
So would you, real quick, I know, would you take the over or under on that if you're betting your life savings? Would you go over or under on that?
Just because it's the SEC, I got... Maybe the under, like maybe the defenses show up.
Man,
that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. I'm telling you, I would probably go over on it. I really would. Ole Miss can put some points up, and Tennessee can put some points up too. I really do think, man.
Whichever defense steps up is who wins, though, in this one, just due to those lethal offenses.
Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of points in this, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Josh Heupel's got a really good offense there in Tennessee. But what Lane Kiffin's able to do, I
thought that was a good hire for Tennessee. I think in a few years that hire is going to pay off.
Yeah, I think so too. Now we'll see if they can win the SEC out of it, but
I didn't say that, but I think they're going to be better.
All right, so one more game here. Out of the 10.
I like this game.
San Diego State, which is ranked 24th, at San Jose State.
They have a running back in Greg Bell who carries the football downhill, and they get it done. I'm excited to watch him tomorrow on national TV. Maybe San Jose State keeps it close, but San Diego State rolls behind their workhorse of a running back.
Yeah, I got San Diego State in this.
Yes.
Of course, this is a Friday night game. So
freaky shit happens on Friday night, though.
Hey, I mean, I got there's 2 games on these lists that we picked on Friday night. You got the Oregon Cal game, and you got the San Diego San Jose State game. So I think this is the first time ever on this channel that I picked 2 Friday night games like this. I mean,
I like Friday
late
night games. I used to love those Thursday night games. I love the Thursday night college football games.
Yeah, I enjoyed them, man. I think they were. I loved them. I really do. I think right now, Memphis Navy's playing right now. I think
they are. They were close when we hopped on here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I have San Diego State winning that. They play at 10:30 on CBS Sports Network if you have it. So.
Yeah, I do have that. I have YouTube TV. Luckily, they got.
Hey, you like YouTube TV?
I love YouTube TV. It's awesome. I have it on my phone. I have a Fire Stick that I take everywhere with me. So, I mean, I just always have my TV no matter where I'm at.
Nice. I love it, man. I love it. All right. So, what we'll do is, keep tabs of those games there, and
yeah, I will. I'm gonna keep tabs, see how we end up here.
I think let me find it here. This is what I'm at so far in the season here. Right now, so far, and last weekend I expanded to 10 games picking. Before that, I was picking 5 to 6 games a week. Right now, I'm at 25-15 so far in the season.
That's respectable.
That's through week 6. That's through week 6. Man, I was looking good last week going into the afternoon games.
Yeah, last week probably hurt you a little bit.
I had, Texas was winning, Penn State was winning. There's a couple other ones, man, but no, it was a really good week last week. But before we go, I want to get your so what's going on in Morgantown, on your opinion on it.
I'm a Neil Brown hater right now. I'm a total Neil Brown hater. Like, I might be overreacting on Neil Brown, but there's a lot of things. I'm not even telling him to start Garrett Green. I'm not freaking out about the transfers, but I'm just freaking out about him and his coaching staff. The development of this offensive line. Some of the players that have been in Morgantown for going 2 and 3 years now. His time management skills and his timeout management skills are about as bad as any football coach in America. And just him, just our coaching staff as a whole. Like, are they ready for a big conference, or are they more of like a MAC type of coaching staff? Has he bit off more than he can chew type of situation? The only thing that's helping him is he's recruited very well. But with this Kerry Martin news and a couple of the other players that have hit the portal, and supposedly there's more to follow, I'm worried. He moved into the top 10 of the hottest seats in college football.
Well, I had Curtis on last week when we were talking about this. Even
dude, I'm a Brown hater. Like, some of his decisions just irk my nerves to the fullest.
That's the things that he brought up to me, was the time, the clock management, stuff like that. Those are really the ones that I've been hearing about. Yeah, those are the ones that I've been hearing about the most. And we even were talking about last week. I mean, you touched on it a little bit, was Garrett Green. Listen, I asked him, I was like, I think if you lose against Baylor, do you start Garrett Green against TCU? I feel like you have to. What do you have to lose? You are at 2-4 right now.
He's not going to. He's 100% not going to. He is a stats homer. He comes into the press conference and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, Garrett Doge is 22 of 31 for 350 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. He had a pretty good game. The kid fought pretty hard in the second half.
Yeah.
And then Garrett Green makes an errant throw on a 4th down on his one set of downs that he actually gets, and he's like ripping his ass. So
my thing is, and this is the way I look at it here, okay? He's a 5th-year senior, okay? You have a redshirt freshman. I believe Garrett Green's a redshirt freshman at least, okay? You have a 5th-year senior making these throws, making freshman decisions, and you might as well start the freshman on the bench.
That's
I mean,
true.
at least if that way you're looking at it like, okay, man, I have a freshman there. If he makes those throws, okay, cool. I understand. He's growing. He's learning. Now you're sending this fifth year dude out that's making these decisions,
he
and
has the
it's
worst
bad
pocket
decision.
awareness I have
It's
ever
horrible.
seen.
Like that's another thing we were talking about was he had horrible pocket awareness, and there's a reason why he was only recruited to a MAC school. There's a reason with that. There is a reason for that.
There was a reason, and I get it. Neil Brown has a relationship with the Daggy family, but this is not the time for family relationships. Like, we're trying to win football teams. We're trying to build our program. And yeah, I get it. Maybe Garrett Green can't make some throws. Maybe Garrett Green doesn't read the defense, but at least give him a couple series, not a play here, a play there. I mean, maybe Daggy is the best quarterback on the roster right now, but we at least need to see more. Give the kid a quarter or something.
I think, man, at least my problem is, from what I've heard from other WU fans and everything, at least what I would look at is, and maybe that is the case, how you said it, is maybe he is the best quarterback on the roster. Maybe Garrett Green can't read the defense, this and that. But what Garrett Green brings to you is what a lot of other college quarterbacks in the game right now are bringing, is that second dimension to the offense. Jarrett Daggy is a statue in the pocket, as Curtis King likes to say.
Yeah. Oh, he's a statue.
he's a statue in the pocket. That's all he is. And, I think in today's game, and you see it also in the NFL, is I feel like you have to have that second dimension. You have to bring that to the offense. Unless you could sling that sucker like Tom Brady still, or, maybe you're just a gift and a talent. You have to be able to throw it, at least.
Being able to scramble with your legs is just so beneficial in today's game. It's just how it helps so much.
Definitely. I think so too. And, like I said, I'm not a coach, but my thing is, and what I ask other W fans is, if you're upset at Neil Brown, who are you going to get to come in if you tell him to kick rocks?
Well, I think that's the problem, and I think that's why Neil Brown's more than likely got this year and all of next year. I don't see Shane Lyons firing him in the middle of next season.
I think he's a good coach. I really do. Maybe I'm in the minority still, and I really do think, man.
I hope
think
you're
he's
right.
Got something.
He's got young, something. And maybe 6 years from now, we'll just be like, yeah, these were the growing pains. Or Dana left the cupboard dry, and
he did.
And Neil Brown's inherited one NFL draft pick compared to Dana and everybody else's 8 or 9. I've heard every excuse under the sun. I just want to see some growth. I think they hyped it up too much this offseason, and they put the expectations were just a little too. Maybe the expectations were high, but yeah, there's just some coaching things that I want to see improvements. I just want to see improvements.
Definitely. I think that's with a lot of people. My thing is I would start Garrett Green against TCU. That's what I would do, because at this point now, maybe you still have that chance to make it to a bowl game. So I mean, maybe it's not all lost. Now, if you end up losing the next 2 games after this, maybe the next 3, and you're out of bowl contention, I think that's when you at least have to make that decision. Now,
I would like to see Crowder get a couple series or 2 just to see what he could do as well. Because our QB room's about to get crowded. Daggy can come back again, and
dude,
it's not like he's going anywhere. Like, does he want to come back and play ball? Does he want to come back and coach with his dad, Neil Brown? Like,
is that for real? Dude? Because we were talking about that last week. I really thought he was full of shit.
It's serious, dude. Last year did not count at all. So,
bro, you better hope he doesn't. You better hope he doesn't. Because, dude, guess what, man? If he stays, man, listen.
He'll start again. He'll start over all of them.
Dude, y'all better hope not, because guess what, man? You're looking at with Daggy. Does
Neil Brown want to hang his career on Jared Daggy?
Listen, if Daggy does come back, and I think if he does come back, I think he'll leave. I think he'll go somewhere else. But if he comes back, and this clown, then he would be a clown in my eyes if he comes back and he starts this dude, and he's already capped out. Then I'm like, okay, man, this dude's a clown. Get him out of here. Right now, man, I'm still with Neil Brown, man. I think
hire an offensive
because
coordinator.
Yes, man. I think another thing is you touched it on there too, is a lot of his coordinators are his buddies. Okay, he's got to make decisions like that. He's got to be like, yo, dude, no, you're done. And he's got to bring in marquee guys, not marquee guys. Maybe I should rephrase that. Bring in really good coordinators. Maybe they're not your buddies. Football minds, dude. And that's the thing.
Blue collar, working class dudes that know the game of football.
Man, bring in some dudes that can call some damn plays.
That too. I don't like his play calling either. I think in the past 2 weeks, he's prepared, has our first 2 series down to a science, and then we get blowed out.
Yeah, I mean,
his preparation's got to be better as well. Like I said, I'm a Neil Brown hater right now, and I hope he gets it turned around because I think he's a really good football coach. It was a good hire when we hired him. Everybody looked at it as a great football hire. So, but like I said, right now, I'm not impressed whatsoever.
Listen, man, I would kind of back off a little bit, now, listen, because here's my thing is, man, right now, at least, who's W going to get? Who are you going to get? Ask yourself that. Maybe not right now, but, maybe look at yourself in a year or two from now. Okay. W is a good job. I'm not saying it's not an elite job. It can be a great job depending on what all is available at that time.
But it's a top 40 job.
It's a top 40 job. Now, is it a top 20? Maybe. Depends on the year.
That'd be a stretch.
It depends on who all is coming out that year. It really depends. But, that's the question you have to ask. And I think Neil Brown can recruit. Okay? He's not like a Dana. Dana couldn't recruit to save his fucking life. Pardon my friend.
I want to see Neil Brown show some compassion.
And I think, man, and it really starts with bringing in new assistants. If he can't make those decisions, then yes, there needs to be something else found. Because if not, if you just want to keep your buddies around, do this and that, then yes, you're not going to help yourself out. Here in about 2 years, we're looking for somebody else. That's my thing about it. I think he's a good coach. He's young. Not Neil Brown, but Dana did leave the cover pretty dry. Dana put a lot of eggs in that 2018 season, and transfers, everything like that.
Yeah, Dana, he worked that portal hard. He couldn't recruit a high school kid to save his fucking life.
No, he brought in I think after William Crest, I think he was done recruiting high school quarterbacks.
Yeah, he never brought in a high school quarterback that played a single game.
Honestly, dude, the last time that I saw Fort Childress started against Georgia State in 2013. William Crest started. I think he played a little bit against Towson in 2014. I don't know why I remember that, but
man, you're getting back.
Yeah, man, and that's how far back you have to go. Jack Allison was a transfer. Will Greer, of course, is a transfer. Trickett, Skylar Howard. How far back? You have to go pretty far back. You have to go back a long time. You have to go back a long time. And guess what? We still got transfers. We still got transfers here. Still got goddamn transfers. Sorry for my French here. I'm sorry. But that transfers only get you so far, man. And until
you gotta get depth. You gotta build depth. You gotta develop players, and you gotta coach them.
Yeah, dude. And we could talk all night on this.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, really I'll back off your boy Neil Brown a little bit, but I need to see some growth without a doubt.
Hey, man, listen, if I'll bring you back. We'll get you back on here probably towards the end of the season, probably in November. We'll get you in November once the college football playoff rankings come out. We'll assess the situation a little bit more.
I'm excited to see where they put a couple teams. Where they going to do with Cincinnati if they've won all their games. And yes, I'm excited for these college football playoff rankings.
Yeah, man, I am too. I think it comes out week 10.
Yes.
So we'll get you on probably week 11. We'll get a game in and everything. But man, I want to see that out of Neil Brown. You know, can he move on from Daggy if it gets to the point of no return?
I'd like to think he can.
But I think once you get to that point of no return where no bowl game, I feel like you have to go to the freshman. You have to see what you got. That way it's okay, man. If you have a freshman coming in that you like out of high school, guess what, man? You know what's out of Garrett Green. You know what he can do.
Yeah, you know what you got out of him.
You know, but hey, we'll see. You know, but all right, man. Stay on once we finish this up real quick. And
absolutely. Thank you for having me. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anytime, dude. We'll get you back on November. But that concludes week 7. I want to thank Dylan Shafer for coming back on. It's been fun, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man.